All right, what we have for review today are raisins. This particular food item started its life out as grapes, and then through the process of desiccation or getting dehydrated, ends up shriveled, and we call them raisins. Could call them dehydrated grapes, similar to things like apricots, or dried apricots, but here they are. This is typically known to be added as a food item in trail mix or oatmeal, giving it a natural sweetener to foods. I believe this is a healthy food. Let's look at how this is categorized. It will be quite interesting if you're looking at my previous reviews. This is a primary food. I struggled a lot between putting it into the primary or secondary. However, this isn't a grape prepared for consumption. It's a grape left out and dehydrated. So I would still consider it a primary food because it's not really being prepared in any way, like heated or things like that. It's just being desiccated. So it's not being squeezed into a grape juice or blended. It's just literally allowing it to dry, which gives it some interesting properties. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and review the nutrition facts and see what interesting properties that gives it. All right, looking at the nutrition facts here, this is all the contents of the package. So this is roughly about 28 grams of raisins. You can see that's 80 calories, 0 fat, cholesterol, and sodium. There's 22 grams of carbohydrates, 17 grams coming from sugar. And remember, there is no added sugar in this food item. This is all naturally occurring sugar. But if you notice, out of the 28 grams, there's still 17 grams of sugar. So that gives you an idea that how much of the water content has been removed. A lot that's left is sugar. And there's 1 gram of protein. Now, there are no ingredients on here because this is just dehydrated grapes. So it's just raisins. The one ingredient are raisins. That's why it was able to be a primary food. Looking at the vitamins and minerals, vitamin A 0%, vitamin C 2% of your daily value, calcium 2%, iron 2%. All right. Raisins, they smell kind of sweet and tart at the same time. They smell more tart than sweet. They don't quite smell bad, but they definitely just smell like raisins. People kind of know what raisins smell like. They don't look particularly appetizing just by looking at them. They kind of look like a food that's gone bad. I mean, we all know them, but if you were to never see a raisin before, you would think that this is something you shouldn't be eating. It's definitely a dehydrated fruit. If you were to leave your hands soaked under water for a long time, they kind of get this kind of look to it. And let's go ahead and see what it tastes like. It doesn't quite taste like a grape. People are accustomed to what grapes taste like. And this tastes very sweet. And it tastes kind of like a raisin. I wouldn't say it's a soured grape, but it tastes like a raisin. It's very sweet. And compared to prunes, it's not as tart. It's more sweet than tart. I like to use raisins to add into trail mixes I make at home. And I also I eat them probably with my oatmeal almost every day. So I really like raisins. I think this is definitely a healthier option than brown sugar or other ways to sweeten oatmeal. And so I definitely recommend this. This definitely falls on the higher end of the health continuum. Out of a 0 to 10, I'm going to give this a 9 or an 8.5. Because you kind of do have to watch how much you're eating. It's easy to eat too many of these because it's been dehydrated. So you have to be careful of the sugar content that you're getting that you're consuming with how much you're eating. Especially since there's no water with it. Because if you're eating an orange, it's not easy to eat too much of it and have too many consequences from the sugars. Negative consequences from the sugars because it's really water loaded and a lot of fiber to go with it. Not to say that this doesn't have fiber, but remember it's dehydrated, so it's easier to eat a lot of this in a shorter period of time without being cognizant, especially since it's dehydrated and there's a large sugar content. All right, I hope you like this review. Please hit the subscribe button if you would like to see my other reviews in the future, and give it a thumbs up if you like the review and kind of give you some insight as to the health consequences of raisins. All right, take care.